Get in there, Arsenal. Back to winning ways, finally. Anyway, as we do, before we start talking about the football, we dedicate this video to a victim of the Israeli genocide. And this is on the day that a ceasefire has been announced as well. A ceasefire is just the tip of the iceberg. We need to dismantle the colonialism, the illegal settlements, the apartheid, the racism, all of the ills and the evils of Israel. So this is nothing to celebrate, but at least it preserves human life. And talking about human life, I'm going to dedicate this one to the eternally heartbreaking story of Hind Rajab, who suffered 355 bullets in her direction from the hands of what can only be called terrorists. Unthinkable for such a small girl. The last moments of her life were absolutely frightening and horrifying. Such is the evil of the Israeli regime. Now talking about Arsenal, thank God we won that game. And in truth, it should have been by a lot more. It should have been much easier. That scoreline kept Tottenham in with a chance right to the end, and at times, it looked like, if they had managed to get a decent chance, it would have been very, very scary. But truthfully, I never ever thought that it would end any other way than the way it ended. When I woke up this morning, I thought it would be an Arsenal win. When it kicked off, I thought an Arsenal win. When we went 1-0 down, I was calm. I knew Arsenal would win. Like Chiellini, the great philosopher, once said, it's the history of the Totnum. And Tottenham do what Tottenham do. They bottle it. Had a 1-0 lead, couldn't hold on to it. And I knew Arsenal would win. But it should have been by so much more. I was actually disappointed again because some players and Mikel Arteta, there's a lot of heat on them right now. And a North London derby is an incredible opportunity to make people forget about everything and just celebrate you. And Kai Havertz today, for example, and Raheem Sterling, who Sterling, to be fair, had some good moments against Man United, but Kai Havertz in recent games has been awful. And it would have been a really, really good opportunity for him today if he had put in a decent performance and sort of got an assist or a goal or something. But he was really, really poor and he struggled, which is really unfortunate for him. This is not for me to get on his back at all, but in a way, just sort of highlighting that it's a real opportunity missed for Kai Havertz because, he had the moments in the game, he had the chances to, get sort of a goal involvement and be celebrated a little bit. But all he caused really was frustration. And I guess it just highlights the fact that we need a proper goal scorer. There were so many times where could have had a shot off at goal. Even when we did get a shot off at goal, it was just not snappy enough. We allowed a block, or we chose the wrong option. We played a pass when we should have shot. And generally in the final third, I felt like our passes just weren't snappy enough. They weren't accurate enough as well. It was really, really frustrating. Anyway, looking at the first goal, Son obviously gets a goal, deflects off Saliba and goes in. I cannot understand for the life of me sometimes the way we defend set pieces. Going forward on set pieces, look, we all know we're brilliant. Nicholas Jover does a great job. But I don't know if he does anything on defensive set pieces, because how can you leave Son? Look at that goal again. How can you leave Son, Tottenham's best player, in 20 yards of space in any direction? If you draw a circle around him, he had so much space, and this is the dangerous player. He's not there by chance. He knows what he's doing. He's obviously edge of the box to mop up anything and to try and get a shot off and goal. Surely one player needs to take responsibility for him and make sure that we don't make it easy. And when he gets that volley, a shot at goal with so many bodies in the way, a deflection's always likely, and that's exactly what happened. I just couldn't believe how poor that was defensively. We need to sort that out. It's not the first time. I've seen so many occasions this season where I've looked at us in a defensive corner or a defensive set piece and I've thought to myself, this looks dangerous because of the way we're positioned, and often you get away with it. This time we didn't. But whilst they got a little bit of luck with the deflection on that goal, we got a huge amount of luck for our goal. I don't care. It's Tottenham. I'll take anything just to beat these lot. But it wasn't a corner. It's bounced off of Trossard before it's gone out, so it never should have been a corner. and then another slice of luck when Gabriel attacks it. I don't even think it's going in. That's come off of Solanke, so I think it'll probably go down as a Solanke own goal rather than a Gabriel goal. So we've got a massive stroke of fortune there as well. And then the winner, Trossard, listen, he does what you need to do. He gets a shot off. Instead of playing that extra pass or delaying it, he's seen the opportunity and put his foot through the ball. Now, Kinski should have obviously saved that. It's an awful, awful mistake by him. It's gone above his hand. So look, you look at the quality of the goals, you look at the chances that we had and how we just didn't make them count. And it's not a confidence inspiring performance, but there are obviously some positives to take away from that. The biggest being MLS. Oh my God, what a performance. Miles Lewis-Skelly, take a bow. He is the second youngest Arsenal player to ever start a North London derby. The youngest, is the incredible Francesc Fabregas. And what a player he was. So it's no surprise that he's on top. But second, MLS. And he was, I thought, man of the match. I really thought he was our man of the match today. He was so good, totally unfazed. And let's have a word for him, because since he's come in the team, he has been absolutely impeccable. Brilliant MLS. And I just you look at him and you think to yourself, I really hope he goes from strength to strength, because when I look back at someone like Hector Bellerin, who came into the team and set the world alight, and then just his trajectory just didn't carry on, I really hope with MLS we've got our left back for the next decade, because what a player he is. And I was a bit miffed as to why he came off for Zinchenko, especially the timing of the substitution on a defensive set piece was really, really baffling. And I'll tell you one thing, taking MLS and Declan Rice, who I thought both were brilliant today, taking them both off for two players where I just thought it made us obviously weaker. If we had conceded, my God, there would have been a massive inquest on Mikel Arteta tonight. Let me know why you think he did that, what you thought of the substitutions at the time. Obviously now the fact that we've won the game, no one's going to talk about it. But anyway, really, really important we won the game today. Chelsea drew, Man City drew, Liverpool drew, Arsenal in a North London derby the day after all of those results. It piles on the pressure, and that's after 2 negative results in the Cups. And, all of that context, just to come through it with a win, that was the main thing today. Yes, we should have played a lot better. We should have won by a wider margin. But, the truth is, when you look at that game again and you take the emotion out of it, we had them on the ropes. The first 20 minutes was non-stop. That was an assault on Tottenham. And the fact that they, were 0-0 after 20 minutes of absolute battering was, lucky for them, to be fair. And, for example, you look at Trossard's chance earlier on in the game where he's sort of opened his body up to side foot it into the far corner. It's come off 2 Tottenham defenders. A bit more clinical. If we were a bit more clinical, we would have been out of sight and it wouldn't have even been a game. But anyway, we've done what we needed to do. We've beaten Tottenham. We can all sort of go to bed happy now. I'll see you next time. Up the Arsenal.